Hello everyone, this is Aegon of Astora, and welcome back to my blind playthrough of Dark Souls 3. This is episode number 11, being recorded on Friday the 15th of April. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, whenever it is you find yourself watching this. So, as you will have just seen, I'm pretty bad at Dark Souls 3 PvP, at least thus far. As you may also be able to see, I spent a long time farming the Dark Wraiths. To the point where, when I started doing those invasions, I think I had 70, 71. Sometimes they drop 1, sometimes they drop 2. Other than that, they drop their set and the Dark Sword. I've not yet gotten either of them to drop the Dark Hand. So I would wager that we're supposed to find it somewhere. Other items, this is, so I presume with Yellowfinger Hazel, I kept calling him Jeremiah, but it's Yellowfinger Hazel, that he invades us in a number of spots, and I presume each time we kill him we get another piece of his equipment. So this one is the Hazel Pick. Choice weapon of Yellowfinger Hazel, a finger of Rosaria, and Xanatos Scholar. This is both a weapon and a sorcery staff. The gold specks are remnants of lost sorceries. And there were some other items as well, but basically we got the entire set, something like 4 or 5 times over. And so rather than keeping just a whole bunch of duplicates of the set, I sold off all of the excess. And used the souls to level up. And so there are several things happening at Firelink Shrine that I want to talk about. The first being, I figured out what the deal is with the fog gate. And it's a very mundane and somewhat disappointing explanation, in that it's not loading the area outside. The area outside is not loaded until it is, until you start walking towards it, and then it's loaded and then you can leave. So that's a thing. Kind of disappointing. Like, I get it, you want the game to have higher visual fidelity, and as I've mentioned, it does look amazing. But there are times when I wonder if it would be better to just settle for a little bit lower fidelity in exchange for better frame rates and, things like that not being a problem. But, yeah. So, that's the loading screen thing. Second thing is I figured out where the tower is behind Firelink, and so we'll get to that in a minute, but first we have some NPC interactions. I saw him in the background as I was recording the previous episode. I noticed him there, or as I was editing it, not while I was recording, and so I haven't looked back to see how long he's been standing here, but he was standing there in the previous episode. I just ran right by him a bunch of times.
Ah, I know you. Been some time. I just dropped in to see how she's getting on. Now, what are you playing at with this circus? This cesspool of doddering old folk and degenerates? Couldn't be better. She must fit in perfectly here. This place is a cesspootin'.
That's all he's gonna say to us? What an ass. Wow.
Oh, Champion of Ash, welcome back. Do you wish to hear a tale? You only have to ask. You know, in my home of Karim, I was a nun. I would be pleased to share the tale, although to be honest, but if terribly so.
Yep, she's not going to say anything new. Well, that's disappointing. I thought that he was going to have some sort of explanation as to... I guess we probably should have talked to him before we let her out of the cell. So, dialogue number 2. This guy's back. He has a very similar headpiece to that of the Abyss Walkers. Or the Abyss Watchers, I should say. Which itself looks a lot like either the standard Hunter headpiece from Bloodborne or that of Henrik, except it's black instead of yellow.
Well, hasn't it been some time? I'm Leonard, the Ringfinger. Remember me? I slipped you those red eyes some time ago. You're making quite an effort of it, so I thought you might like to know. If you yearn for a proper red-eye orb, one that is uncracked, then kill the Dark Wraith, survivor of the land swallowed by darkness. He has been a prisoner for many ages in the deepest cell in all Lothric. I can see it in your eyes. If you didn't invade, didn't pillage, whatever would you do?
Very interesting. So I wonder if the trigger for him coming back here is you doing a successful invasion. So before we get to that, maybe it's, having one of these pale tongues. Proof of a red orb invader's victory over a host of embers. Claiming tongues as trophies was originally the practice of an infamous troop of invaders, who offered them to their speechless goddess. We also got one of these, or two of these, I guess. A leaf signifying a duty fulfilled by the watchdogs of Faron, who stand beside the old wolf to ensure the serenity of those at rest. Depicts a swordgrass leaf stained with dried blood. Long ago, the swordgrass leaf quietly identified members of the Undead Legion. In the rotted forest rest the spirits of warriors past, their acceptance of and gratitude toward their guardians is expressed eloquently by the humble leaf. Key to the room of the lift that descends to the deepest dungeon in Lothric. A surviving dark wraith from the land swallowed by darkness is said to be held there. Kirk? I wonder if it's Kirk. Very interesting. Okay.
Ooh, yet to give in, eh? Good. The firekeeper must be twitching with delight. But what do you really know about these Lords of Cinder, these supposed legends? Let's take Aldrich for one. A right and proper cleric. Only he developed a habit of devouring men. He ate so many that he bloated like a drowned pig, then softened into sludge. So they stuck him in the Cathedral of the Deep, and they made him a Lord of Cinder, not for virtue, but for might. Such as a lord, I suppose. But here I ask, do we have a sodding chance?
Yeah, he seems pretty crestfallen. So whereas previously we went out that way, and I can't remember if I even went up here when... Although I think I did. I think I came up on this side and not the other one, because on this side it just leads down here. But if you go on the other side... And also as you will have seen in the introduction, I made the very important discovery that the seeds of a tree of giants are still in the game. And then I discovered this place, which not only seems to have the door with the key that we have been looking for, so that we can use that key we spent 20,000 souls accidentally on, but it also has this giant's tree here. Oh! So there's actually no visual indication in this one. Seed of a giant tree is yet to fall. So very cool. Very, very cool. Because that was the first thing I thought after I noticed the icon underneath the health bar, which is interesting because now hosts won't be able to. That's a huge part of the advantage of using a seed completely taken away. Because before you could catch invaders off guard, say when they went and hid among enemies. And yeah, now you can't do that anymore because of the icon. Soul of a deserted corpse. So let's remind ourselves what the tower key description says. Key to the decrepit tower behind Firelink Shrine, which leads to the bell tower. The bell tower is the grave of Firekeeper's past. When a Firekeeper has served her purpose, she is led to true darkness, where she enjoys a long-deserved sleep. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to get that item some other way. Although these two could just be people that missed. He bounced right off of it. Hey, visions of me. Unless it was supposed to be pointing, no? Wow. Pointless, by the way. By the way, beanpole. Yep. Well, maybe you can make a drop. You could drop down there somewhere. I don't know. So we'll be able to get that item there, and then I think we'll be able to drop in that little middle thing there to get the item that is hanging from that bar. So the item description was pretty literal. So I guess just like in Dark Souls 1, so we'll have to keep an eye on the corpse models to see if it's a similar situation to that of Dark Souls 1, where most of the corpses were male, and of the corpses that were female, I think there was only the twin humanities in the lower undead burg, and then the rest of them were firekeepers. Soul of a firekeeper who is said to have returned from the abyss. This firekeeper preserves the bonfire and serves its champion. She is said to have soothed and accepted the dark sigil which has tainted her soul. Is that the same thing we have? Yeah. And yet her soul will one day embed itself in the bosom of another firekeeper. So it's a key item and not a consumable, which likely means that we have to go give it to the firekeeper. One of those occasions where sending the elevator back down actually wastes time instead of saving it. Oh, what? No, 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 he's just himself again? Oh my god. Oh my god, what did they do to your face, man? Oh my god. Oh. This was worth the 20,000 souls alone.
Sorry, friend. Be more careful. By the gods, curiosity is gonna kill you, kittens. Some places are better left alone, you know. Oh, sorry. Am I a tad too late?
Did he lock us in here?
Have no fear. There's beauty in death. Besides, you're surrounded by ladies. Every man's dream, right?
Wow. Wow. What a fucking troll. It's too bad he doesn't seem to know that we could just use a homeward bone.
Oh, no matter. I'll look after things. By stripping every last trinket off your corpse, you're gonna make some lucky customer very happy. Oh, no matter.
Wow. He doesn't even try to like be our friend at first. So I wonder if there might, because in Dark Souls 1 you can meet him in the Catacombs before you find him in the Tomb of the Giants. So I wonder if it's something like where you could trigger him at different points. But yep. What did they do to your face, Patches? He's so ugly. Oh my god. But I guess, again, based on how many years have passed, He's doing pretty good for himself. Alright, we're gonna try for this item here. Nope. Yep, my left analog stick is so messed up. It just clicks sometimes when you're turning it. So yeah, so now that the game knows that we're going this way, it'll start loading the area. That's kind of sad. I was hoping that it was some sort of, like, story thing. Okay, so there's a shortcut ladder there. An item there. I wonder if Patches is still going to be up there. Nope. Well, it's certainly a good thing that we didn't, that we didn't use a homeward bone. I have a feeling it's as simple as rolling. Boom. Firekeeper set. Robe worn by the guardian of the shrine. The firekeepers were robbed of light to better serve as vessels for souls. Only those who cherished the writhing, searing darkness were given the keeper's black attire. Interesting. This ring. A green ring crafted from shards increases HP restored by Estus Flask. This ring was entrusted to a certain firekeeper, but in the end she never met her champion, and the ensuing tragic farce became a favorite tale of the masses. So this is where we fought the guy with the Uchikatana. That makes sense. Alright, now let's go get those items on the roof.
Me, pickle pea. Me, bumperum.
This thing makes less and less sense as each game passes. Pum pum, what am I supposed to drop for you?
Bumperum, bumperum. Bumperum, bumperum.
Oh my god, we guessed correctly, okay. Let's see what else. I wonder if it's random? I assume it's the same as in Dark Souls 1. Let's see how many we can drop.
You. Not that. Enough.
So yeah, so it's similar to the Dark Souls 1 system where it appears to be preset, the items that you can drop. And you can only exchange one time per new game cycle.
You.
It's not a pickle pea. So maybe he likes round things? I don't know. Ooh. So maybe it's round things.
Bumperum, 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 bumperum.
Oh, yes! Yes! Oh my gosh, yes! Oh, how I've missed you!
You.
Hello. Hello.
Hello! Hello!
Oh, that's what, yeah. Scratch that. This as well would alone have been worth 20,000 souls, I think. Oh, man. Oh. Iron leggings. Chain leggings combined with iron boots, said to be the leggings of a knight of sunlight from a previous age. Has no particular powers, but are of fine quality, and evidently well taken care of. It's Lair's leggings.
Picklebee.
Ooh. No, stop it. That's what that one guy did to me after him and his summon killed me.
You.
Yes, you, yeah, I hear you. I'm trying to figure out what you want. No idea what you want. Alright, that's all I can think to try. I would just Google which items you need to drop. But of course, that puts me in the vicinity of spoilers, and it's closer than I care to be. Everyone in the comments has been really great about not spoiling things, so I'm very grateful for that. I hope you all know that. And how much I appreciate you all watching, even if I've not really discussed any comments thus far. There is one comment that was left by Dezo Penguin that I do want to speak to. I'm going to see if I can squeeze in time for that a little bit later on. Dying to know where Patches goes now. This is how we get that item.
You. Me, Picklebee. Me, Bumperum.
What?
Hello.
Do you have a different item set up? What was something that didn't work on the other one? Yeah, I'm going to assume that this one takes the same items. That's what I was expecting us to find at the top of the tower. The bell tower. Oh! Oh, if I could apply that message 1,000 times. I was almost, that's why I didn't rate it right away. I was almost certain that it was going to be a troll. I think that's the first illusory wall we found. Covetous silver serpent ring. Additional souls, I assume. That's what it was in all the other games. A silver ring depicting a snake that could have been, but never was, a dragon. Fallen foes yield more souls. Snakes are known as creatures of great avarice, devouring prey even larger than themselves by swallowing them whole. If one's shackles are a cause for discontent, perhaps it is time for some good old-fashioned creed. Hi, friend. Damn it. That would have been quite the entrance.
Hello.
Oh, you're alive. Now, hold your horses. Let's have a nice talk about this. I'll come clean. I did you wrong. I didn't mean it, though. Not one bit. You get these urges, running the business and all, and I hate myself for it. I do. You know what I mean. Terrible, really. But I can see you'll forgive me. You're alive, after all. And that's what counts, right?
I can't stay mad at you, Patches. I really can't.
Oh, fantastic. A wily second chance. I knew you'd understand. I just knew it. The heart of a lion. A model for the rest of us. A true friend. Forever.
Unbreakable Patches.
I see you've met Greyrat. The slinking rodent. But he did me a good turn back in Lothric Dungeon. Doubtless I should do something about that little dead. Well, maybe not. Well, I can hardly believe he's still standing.
No, don't mess with Greyrat. He's cool. He lost Loretta. He's having a hard time.
I see you've met the doubtless I should... Well...
Oh no. So he sells his gear, but he sells poison arrows. A horse hoof ring. An old ring with a seal depicting horse's hoof. Boosts kick effect. Unbreakable Patches adored this ring and the feeling that it gave him when he kicked his marks into the depths of treacherous traps, but suffered no shortage of ridicule from his associates for relying so heavily on the tired old trick. But who's the sorrier, the horse who knows only to kick, or the fool who approaches the old beast without thought? He sells really overpriced embers. It's not a terrible price for rusted coins. Rubbish for 200 souls. Oh, Patches. Wing spear. Shotel. He's only got 2 of those. Oh, parrying dagger. Oh, we gotta get some more souls. The wearer of this fine attire was admired by friends and enemies alike, for his skills were unmatched, and his heart was true as gold. As its new owner, you have quite the shoes to fill. That couldn't be in reference to Patches. Heart true as gold. I do want that ring. Screw it, we're gonna sell the blood of the wolf. I was going to craft the sword, but it's just not a practical sword. And I don't think we have the resources to upgrade it anyway. So yeah, let's sell it. And the other vendors would have given us 20,000 for it as well. I checked that earlier. Okay, so we need this ring. And a bunch of poison arrows. Let's say 100.
Thanks, good compere.
Oh, there were... I wasn't sure what to expect. But, yeah, that's pretty much patches in every single game. And I'm okay with that. Because he's the only one, I think, that is really blatant fan service. Did we get everything on the roof? I think we did. Let's double check. Yes! Ooh, Twinkling Titanite. We need a lot to get our shield to +3. I think we need 2 more to get to +3. So is that it? I'd say we definitely got our soul's worth with that key. Took us a few episodes to figure out where the heck we needed to go for it, but definitely got our soul's worth.
Ah.
Ooh. So, like Melentia, I guess, she sells boss gear. Attire of the Abyss Watchers, the undead legion of Pharaon. These undead warriors vowed to partake of wolf blood. They acted in the dark, seeking out any sign of the Abyss, fighting a constant war with its abominations. This pointed steel helm was a distinct symbol of the legion, shirked as a sinister omen by the masses. Iron Mask of the Watchdogs of Pharaon's Keep. After the Legion's Watchers became Lords of Cinder, the wolf blood dried up and Pharaon was consumed by a festering wood. Within the wood, an emaciated old wolf commands watchdogs to defend the sanctity of sleeping warriors. Both the exiles were surely watchdogs themselves, for Pharaon has always been a land of itinerants. Sage's big hat, enormous hat that completely obscures the face, belonged to the twin gurus known as the Crystal Sages. The pair are said to be successors to the great sage Logan. And this big hat is a symbol of their pedigree. So, yeah, I pointed that out almost as soon as we walked into the boss fight.
Welcome home, Ashen One. Speak thine heart's desire. Ashen One, this is much like what lies within me. Then let it find its own place within my bosom. She will understand. We are both firekeepers after all.
The Firekeeper is now able to heal the dark sigil.
Forgive me, sister. May the flames guide thy way. Farewell, Ashen One. May the flames guide thee.
So just a review before we get rid of it. Dark Sigil, a black gaping hole in the flesh that resembles the brand of an undead. The darkness of humanity seeps from this bottomless pitch black hole, the gap filled by the accumulation of the curse. This dark sigil will never heal, but there is a tale told of a firekeeper who returned from the abyss and brought great comfort to a bearer of the curse.
Welcome home.
So that's not as easy as I thought it was gonna be. No. So what happens when we hit yes? Oh, of course.
Farewell, Ashen One. May the flames guide thee.
Alright, well that kind of sucks. I wonder, is that sin or something? That's a very good question. I suppose we'll have to wait and see. Never hurts when you're here to just get the party started with the dark race. So get them started on their path to killing all those enemies up there. And yeah, the previous episode we just sort of neglected this spot over here, so let's go check it out. If only I had a bravery item ahead. Atonement. That's a buff, isn't it? Miracle given to those cast out from the Sable Church of Londor. Attracts more attention from foes. This is the only tale known by the exiles who believed it carries words of forgiveness. Cursed journeys, too, must ultimately come to an end. Attracts more attention from foes, so it's like the... So like in co-op, I guess, you cast it to get the enemies to pay attention to you. Pull the aggro from the house or something. Hollow gem. A gem of infused titanite, a stone plentiful in Londor, land of hollows. Used in infusion to create hollow weapons. Hollow weapons are said to peer into the essence of its wielder, whose luck boosts attack. Interesting. So for, like, luck builds, I guess. Whoa. Stupid basilisk. So those guys are like the prowling demons of this game, eh? Titanite scale. Titanite altered by a soul reinforces soul transposed weapons to +4. Weapons forged by soul transposition can only be reinforced by titanite of the same kind. In rare cases, crystal lizards devour souls, growing to monstrous proportions and Oh! Those are crystal lizards! Wow! That is really, really cool. Oh, there's a Black Knight. That is really cool, though. I was not expecting that. That's a crystal lizard. Wow. If only I had a key. Oh, this is the same place where we were previously. So this guy is not a single spawn then. That's awesome. So we can use this. So in addition to having 2 Dark Race in this area to farm, you can also farm Black Knight. I guess first things first, you have to make sure that you're able to actually kill the Black Knight before before you're going to be able to farm them. That's an important consideration as well.
Hello.
Yeah, even though I killed those guys at least 40 or 50 times, still not much better at fighting them. Still pretty bad at fighting them. They are really tough. And maybe it's just because I killed the Dark Race in Dark Souls 1 like 400 or 500 times, if not like 4,000 or 5,000 times. Yeah. Cannot get in the same groove of parrying them properly. Oh, we just got wrecked. And so I'd say if I faced that first Dark Wraith 100 times and allowed the other one to go fight the enemies, the same 100 times, I'd say that guy failed to survive maybe 5 or 6 times. He usually can take them all out by himself, which is quite impressive. So yesterday we went right into the boss room instead of going to this corner here, so I wanted to make sure that there was nothing here before we move on. Because when we were in the Catacombs type place, or I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it is Catacombs explicitly. There was a message saying right, so we went to the right, but didn't find a bonfire anywhere, and then my capture card froze, so we'll try going left this time and see if we can find the bonfire. Because we got pretty far into it, and we didn't find anything, so, like, no shortcuts. I think we found one shortcut, but I can't even remember, because with every other episode I'm able to actually watch it as I'm editing it. It's not just that I'm able to, it's that I try to do that for every video I upload, to make sure that I'm not, like, talking complete nonsense. Although sometimes I am talking complete nonsense, and I keep it in the video anyway, but... Alright, so I guess we didn't really miss anything over here. I thought that was another path. Okay, so we got a comment from Deso Penguin. I think it was on episode 2 or 3. I think it was episode 3. Deso Penguin writes, one thing I've noticed a lot of coming to FromSoft games with Bloodborne first is the habit that Souls veterans have of comparing everything to previous Soulsborne games. Both you and ENB, for example, immediately compared Grey Rat to Lautrec when you met him in today's video. So I guess in both mine and ENB's episode 3. Of course, there are many places where we've already seen in your playthrough where Dark Souls 3 explicitly calls out to the history and lore of Dark Souls 1 and 2. Since they do take place in the same universe and deal with the same fundamental conflicts and what I presume is the same general geographic area. But there seems to be a very distinct underlying assumption among Soulsborne veterans that nothing is ever new. Before I get to the comment in general, I will say that part is certainly not true of me. That each thing is a specific callback or recycling of previously used ideas. It seems to be a highly cynical idea that is embedded in the community. I hope I'm emphasizing that this is by no means an Aegon issue in any way. But I think it sometimes gets in the way of appreciating the actual game being played. Mind you, I'm a highly talkative lore wonk, and nothing's worse for a talky lore wonk than to look at, say, Lautrec and have the first point about him be, he's just this game's yurt, same old, skips right to the Doyleist explanation. This is probably why I think of it this way. So, let me say first and foremost that I actually agree with you in that what I'm taking your comment to mean is that we shouldn't look at things and by comparing them or immediately drawing a parallel to a similar set piece or character from a previous game, that by doing so in many circles, I agree with you, and I see this and it bothers me too, that there's this idea that, oh yeah, it's just that. And so rather than making those observations in the interest of opening up possibilities, what I believe Desel Penguin is saying here is that most people, and probably myself included sometimes, although he said it wasn't specifically addressed at me, that most people use that as a way of closing off possibilities instead of opening them up. Whereas for me, it's the opposite. I look at something like that, and the reason why I express concern about Grey Rat and the possibility that he might go back to Firelink and kill everyone is if I had to explain it, it would probably have something to do with the whole idea of loss aversion, whereby gains we're more sensitive to losses than we are to gains. And in the case of the Souls games, when even if there's the remotest chance that an NPC might end up killing another NPC, that loss is so much more profound than, the potential gain of Grey Rat actually being a good guy. So that's why I expressed, concern and in episodes after the one that this comment was made on as well. It's not because I think that that's the most likely explanation or the most likely outcome, that it's just another Lautrec and that he's going to kill NPCs, but that I think that the possibility of that happening, greater or less than the other possibilities, it doesn't matter, because it's the downside that I'm concerned about. So there's that. And then there's, in a broader sense, that for better or worse personally, and this applies to my academic work especially, I learn, really the only way I can learn is through my own experiences. So when I am in a situation like that, where, the setup of having him in the prison cell, very clearly, to me at least, invoked the spot in which we find Lautrec. And so that's why it didn't really surprise me to hear that ENB said something similar to that which I did. And I've not yet, of course, watched any of his episodes, but I am looking forward to checking them out after the fact and seeing him in addition to several other people as well. But yeah, it's why it doesn't surprise me, because that setup seems to specifically invoke Lautrec. And so when I say I draw these comparisons in order to open up possibilities rather than close them off. I'll give an example of that right now. So, by specifically invoking, you know, the Lautrec, finding him in the bell tower, the undead parish, locked up, and then Grey Rat finding him, you know, locked up at the high wall of Lothric. They could, in some way, possibly, potentially, set it up in a way like that so as to subvert the player's expectations. So maybe they wanted us to look at this guy and say, oh my god, it's totally Lautrec, so that they can actually subvert our expectations. Now obviously I'm not communicating these things very thoroughly because, you know, when I'm playing through something like this the first time, all that stuff's sort of happening in my head, whereas when I'm playing Bloodborne, for instance, when I'm doing Let's Talk Lore, I've played through that game so many times that, you know, there's really nothing, you know, I don't need to occupy my mental faculties with actually playing the game, because I know how the game is played. Invaded by Mad Dark Spirit Lephantis. Oh, we traded our seed to the crow, damn it. Oh, that sucks. I wonder if this is another player, or if this is an NPC. The Mad Dark Spirit we got invaded by before was an NPC, so I don't know if that's any indication, but yeah, so Desert Penguin, I agree very much, and I think it's a very thoughtful comment. And it's funny that, yeah, even though that's not something I'm going to stop doing, oh, I fucking hate this guy. I wanted to help you understand why it is I draw these comparisons. That it is specifically... Are you an NPC or a player? How the hell am I supposed to kill this guy? So yeah, that was a player. That was not an NPC. I assumed it was an NPC. And then once I deemed it a player, I assumed that he was actually going to allow me to fight that skeleton, which I don't know how the heck I'm supposed to deal with that guy, because he kicked my butt yesterday too. I think that might have been the part where my capture card froze, but he is so fast. And so aggressive, too. So yeah, to sum up, I point out things like that just because I'm adding, I want to add as much context as possible to the game. So when I draw a comparison between one place and another, I'm doing that not to dismiss the possibility that it could be something else, but also to, you know, provide the potential additional context that the developers might have been thinking this when they made this decision, or when they designed this area. They might have been thinking, let's do something similar to what we did here, but then instead of having, you know, like, to continue with the Lautrec example, instead of having Lautrec murder everyone, you know, make that NPC the character who saves everyone, or something like that. Like, just trying to add as many possibilities, as much context as possible. And with more context, you have more possibilities, I think. So yeah, but I think we both share that desire and that sentiment. It's just that we go about it in slightly different ways. But that's basically me in a nutshell with everyone in the world. I go about things in different ways. A slightly different way from everyone else. And that's okay. I've gotten a number of, like, most of the comments have been really kind and nice, but a number of comments from people either commenting on my playstyle or basically kind of telling me how to play the game. And I don't know if these people... I know everyone means well, but... it matters not how hard I try. I can't change who I am, and who I am has a direct influence on how it is I play this game, and the Souls games in general. So, and that includes things like this sometimes when I'm caught up in a train of thought or a conversation, and I'm struggling against the enemies, I just say, fuck it, I'm gonna run. And it's gonna drive some people crazy, and I apologize if you're one of those people. I would do it differently if I could, but at this point I really just want to find the bonfire in this place. That's actually... oh, Crystal Lizard! We missed a Crystal Lizard! No! Oh! I'll take that. Sure. Do we drop down here? But yeah, so I hope you all understand that, yeah, it's nothing against you. It's just, you know, I can't play this game any other way. Like, I can, again, using the Bloodborne example, I played that game so much that I don't need to think while I'm playing it. Whereas when I'm exploring a Souls game for the first time, drawing comparisons and things like that, that's just basically how I learn to understand things. I understand things through my experience, and so I have a lot of experience playing the Souls games, so when I'm trying to understand a new Souls game, that's the first thing that comes to mind. I can't of course speak for E and B, because I've never even spoken to him, let alone, you know, so I certainly don't know him, nor speak for him, but I've always really enjoyed his content, because I feel like for someone with a YouTube channel of his size, that he does an excellent job of not only, making an effort in terms of community interaction, but also of keeping possibilities open as well. And that's something I admire a great deal, especially for someone with a channel of that size, because it really does make a difference. It's much easier to be a small channel than it is a big channel. We can breathe for a sec. There's so many skeletons here. This is nuts. Haven't had to use our heal aid for quite some time. I think it might be that I'm using a thrust weapon, or a weapon that is primarily thrust. This might be a good time to try out the historic greatsword. So there are our souls. But... isn't this the spot where the skeleton things come out of? I don't like this place at all. Oh, I don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight you. Dashing through required ahead. Oh, we didn't get the item. I want that item. Run! Hi, friend. No! No! Did he die? Oh. Oh no, he's still alive! No! Oh no! That was our friend with the fancy hat who runs away from us. Well. Wait. Is he the one who controls the boulders? Yeah, it stopped. Undead bone shard. Okay, so it's a good thing we killed him. I love that guy though. This is so funny. Yeah, I don't know if this is any better. Yeah, the problem is it's so much slower. And because it's an upgrade level below the longsword, we're not doing all that much damage with it. I'm really considering giving that Patch's ring, trying that out, because I wonder what it means to have it boost your kick. Do you guys just keep spawning? Alright, screw it, we're running. I hate this place. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, we made it. No! No! Get away! Oh, man. Oh, he dropped an item. We didn't get it, but I don't care. Alright, we've gone on long enough, but I'm so happy that we got this bonfire. Wow. So, thank you all very much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.